Let me welcome you, my dear students. This is our fourth learning session of Classical and Renaissance Drama with BS English fourth semester. Dear students, if you remember what we did last time, we tried to learn about the writer of Oedipus Rex. The name of the writer was name of the writer is the Sophocles, and the biography of Sophocles, and we have discussed about the Oedipus Rex, the summary, characters, symbols, and themes in Oedipus Rex, and the the tragic Aristotelian tragedy in the Oedipus Rex. Now we are going to discuss about the characters of Oedipus and Oedipus as a tragic hero and irony in Oedipus Rex. So my dear students, let me tell you about the outline. Today we are going to discuss about the Oedipus character and irony and Oedipus as a tragic hero. So let's discuss with the Oedipus. We can simply say that the character analysis of the Oedipus. So he was born from a myth, Sophocles. Oedipus figures as the tragic hero who kills his father and marries his mother. A victim of fate, vilified by all. He discovers his own corruptions and tears out his eyes in self-punishment, a symbolic castration for the incestuous sin. So my dear students, the keynote of Oedipus' character lies in his will to know, and we can simply say that thereby to control reality. Oedipus' brilliance and determination serve him well in solving mysteries like the riddle of the Sphinx, but lead ultimately to his tragic downfall. Then we can simply say that the petition of the chorus that opens Oedipus the king attests the Oedipus responsible leadership. He has been a good king for Thebes, and in crisis he moves decisively to save his city, but in his excitement and energy Oedipus lacks discretion, and when, for example, the Creon hits wisely that they should discuss the news from the oracles in private, but Oedipus refuses, insisting that every action he takes to find and the purge corruption from the city must be in public. So we can say that the impervious to reason and advice, Oedipus follows his will with an intellectual passion. So his drive, simple is that his drive to unearth the mystery and his pride in the performing his intellectual feat before the whole city, and in horror as he discovers that the object of his relentless search is himself. To the chorus, Oedipus explains his blindness as his mournful inability even to look upon his loved ones again. But the violence also represents his attack on the part of himself that cannot stop seeking out and finding what is hidden despite the fateful consequences. In ancient Greek society, they believed that one life is predestined and that one's fate is sealed. What is meant to occur will happen no matter what the person does. What that person does, simple is that in Oedipus Rex, Oedipus' fate is doomed from the birth because of the actions of his ancestors. Unlike Oedipus, most people today don't believe in a predestined fate. People can be all they want to be regardless of their background or the circumstances of their lives. So, however, some people don't realize that they are in charge of their own life and can make conscious decision to change the course of their lives. So, this behavior obviously didn't please the gods, and thus they punish Oedipus' family for several generations. When Jocasta and Lais gave birth to Oedipus, they were aware of the prophecy that he would one day kill his father and then marry his mother. So, if we talk about the tragic hero, let me discuss. A tragic hero is the principal character of a tragedy that enjoys all the trappings of power, fame, and wit, but though a major flaw of character, fatally error. The realization and will to concede, also known as catharsis, is what marks their position as a tragic hero. So Oedipus is wise of the blue blood, is lovable but arrogant, and his fatally error in order to complete his picture as a tragic hero. So my dear students, let's discuss the characteristics of a tragic hero. Means the tragic hero is a man or a woman of noble stature. If we talk about the tragic hero, means he is good but not so perfect. As a result, the tragic hero downfalls is in his own fault. Then yet the hero punish is not so entirely deserved. The hero falls is not so pure loss. The tragedy arouse pity and fear, but ultimately these emotions are purged. Now we are going to discuss about the Oedipus as a tragic hero. So let's discuss that Oedipus' noble birth is seen as he was a son of King Lais and Prince of the Thebes. That means if you talk about the means he is good but not so perfect. Why? When Oedipus was not perfect, as he killed his father and married his mother. Then character flaw. If you talk about the character flaw, means Oedipus listened the prophecy of the Delphi and his desire to be a king. Then the next one is the hero's punishment. It's not so entirely deserved. Means Oedipus' punishment of blindness and banish was justified because all crimes were committed in ignorance. Then the downfall is not pure loss. The punishment of Oedipus is not pure loss. It also aroused the knowledge and awareness about the ethics in the reader and audience. So the punishment exceeds crime. Oedipus blind himself and Creon banish him. So this was about the tragic hero. Now we are going to discuss about the irony in Oedipus Rex. So my dear students, let's discuss the Sophocles uses three types of irony in Oedipus Rex. The first one is the verbal irony, the second one is the situational irony, and the third one is the dramatic irony. Let's discuss the verbal irony. Means verbal irony is sarcasm when one character means to say one thing but is interpreted by another character as something else. In the initial conversation between the Thyrsis and the Oedipus, Thyrsis refuses to Oedipus what he knows because it would harm him. Oedipus, ignorant as he is, the presses Thyrsis under this pressure. Means he just try to get pressure to the Thyrsis. Means under the pressure, Thyrsis says, "You are all ignorant. I will not reveal the troubling things inside me, which I can call you grief as well." Means to this Oedipus respond, "What are you saying? Do you know and will not say? Do you intend to betray me and destroy the city?" Means here Oedipus is misunderstanding Thyrsis, which I can call you grief as well. Means what Thyrsis means is that this news would be Oedipus grief as well, means because it would reveal that Oedipus had killed Lais. This is verbal irony because Oedipus doesn't realize this. He interprets grief as an impending doom that is about to happen that Thyrsis refuses to warn him about. So this simple is that this discrepancy in understanding is Sophocles uses by the verbal irony. Now we are going to discuss about the situational irony. Situational irony is the occurrence of something not expected, usually associated with a pessimistic or fatalistic view. Sophocles makes perfect use of this in his character of Oedipus. Just about everything Oedipus expected to avoid, he stumbled upon by running from the parents to prevent the oracle's prediction. He ended up actually running toward his real parents. An other example would be when Oedipus accuses just about everything, means everyone else of killing Lais, when as it turns out he was the murderer. The next one is the dramatic irony. Means dramatic irony occurs when the audience knows something and the character knows nothing about it. So because of the introduction, the audience of Oedipus Rex knows the Oedipus is the one who kills the king Lais and marries his mother, but Oedipus himself, however, is not aware of this and continues the condemning everyone else. So dramatic irony is applied when Oedipus finally realizes that he is the killer, means effect that the audience has knows all along. So let's discuss the Greek tragedy by Aristotle. Means according to Aristotle, a good tragedy, like a good cake, that must have the following ingredient to be successful. The first one is the tragic ending is, means the ending is inevitable and the tragic character has a tragic flaw, means hamartia, which leads to his or her own downfall. Means the third one is the tragic character is of high status, so that his or her fall has great impact. Identify the tragic character in Oedipus the king and explains how the play is or is not good tragedy according to these ideas. Means simple version. We are going to discuss about the elements of Greek tragedy with reference to the Oedipus. Means the first one is the hamartia, then pathos, then perpetua, anagnorisis and catharsis. So let's discuss the hamartia. Means ignorance of a particular fact or set of facts. In later criticism, this was interpreted as the tragic flaw. So Oedipus doesn't know, means he doesn't know about himself. Simple is that Oedipus doesn't know that the person he killed at the crossroad was the king of Thebes, that was the Lais. And Oedipus doesn't know that Lais was his father. Oedipus doesn't know about the Jocasta, means she was his mother. Oedipus doesn't know about the Polybus and Merope are not his natural or biological parents. So this was the hamartia in it. Now we are going to discuss about the pathos. What is pathos? Means the hamartia, and due to the hamartia the actions are found, that is called the tragic acts. Destruction to the life or painful must be combined with hamartia. So let me discuss the means that suffering experiences or the emotions, and pathos is on appeal made to an audience emotion in order to evoke feeling. So Oedipus king Lais, means it is the Oedipus who kills Lais, and Oedipus sleeps with Jocasta and produce 4 children. Antigone, Ismene, means the means the other one, other two all means he produced four characters. So the next one is the perpetua, means a reversal of action or intent where someone or something happens where the actual effect is different from the stated or intended effect. So the messenger tells Oedipus about about the king of Carnath, means about the good news, but the end up revealing that the Polybus and Merope were not the parents of Oedipus. The shepherd is summoned, to give evidence about the death of Lais. He ended up revealing that the Oedipus was the baby whom he rescued from, and gave to the messenger. So this is the perpetua. Then the next one is the ignoraces. Means what is ignoraces? Means recognition of ignorance. So the doer of pathos recognizes that he or she has been ignorant, suffering from hamartia. So my dear students, let me discuss that Oedipus finally makes the the connection between the man he killed at the crossroads was his own father, that is the king Lais, and that the woman he has married and slept with, Jocasta, is his own biological mother. The last one is the catharsis. So my dear students, let me explain about little bit about catharsis. Meant catharsis is the purification. It is about the purge. It is about the involving regret, means contrition or the consideration of suffrage. So let me discuss about the purification involving regret, contribution or considerable suffering. Meaning of the word has changed over time. So people use it now to mean a sense of emotional outpouring and feeling better after doing so. So Oedipus acknowledged to the chorus and audience that he is a hated and revolting creature. He blinds himself vigorously and violently. It is not just the blinding, but how it is done. Means he is resigned to his fate and urges Creon to banish him, thus purifying the city of thieves. So, my dear student, it was totally about our lecture. Means we have discussed different things in it. First, we have discussed the character analysis of Oedipus, and the second one is we have discussed the tragic hero, means Oedipus as a tragic hero. The third one is irony used in it. The last one is the Aristotelian tragedy, means either Oedipus Rex is an symbol is that Aristotelian tragedy, or is it we can simply says that means we can simply say that is it a perfect tragedy according to Aristotle or not. So by analyzing these things, we can simply say that it is a perfect piece of writing of it is a perfect piece of means a Greek tragedy. So dear student, it was totally about our today's lecture. Means we have discussed many points in it, and means it was about our lecture. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.